Hey everyone, I'm Amber Oliver. Today we are going to be adding irrigation to my new raised beds in the garden. Let's get started. So after building raised beds for our backyard and filling those and planting seeds, I realized that I did not want to be out here hand watering every single day. So I decided to take 3 of our sprinkler heads that were in this area and convert them to drip irrigation. What I'm actually using are these sprinkler heads that they're really tiny and they're made for a different kind of tubing that I'll show you exactly how. I'm also going to link it for you in the description of this video and in the blog post, so if you need more information or prefer to read instead of seeing, I've got all that available for you. The 3 main materials we need for this project are drip emitters, 1/4 inch irrigation tubing, and a manifold. Now for this, we are swapping 3 of our sprinkler heads with what are called manifolds. I learned a lot about water irrigation doing this project, and one of them we're actually going to have to relocate the sprinkler head. So I'll show you all of that in this video, as well as how to install these and water all your plants while you sleep, basically. We started by gently digging around the heads to see which way the pipe was going. Luckily, it was easy to slightly bend it in the direction we needed it to go. Before reconnecting everything, we wrapped the ends with plumber's tape. We removed the pop-up head along with the elbow joint that connected it to the pipe. After digging the trench, we placed the now longer pipe and the new end that had a riser and a manifold on top. We used a couple of easy pipes connected with 1/4 inch easy barbed coupling to extend across the grass. We used a clamp to hold it in place while we backfilled the trench. If you dig up carefully, you should be able to reseed your grass. Unfortunately, I built, installed, and filled the beds before I even thought about the sprinklers. Whoops. So after moving one of the heads, I had to dig one of the others out. After finding it, I just had to unscrew the old pop-up head and add a riser with coupling on the end. Because the riser and the sprinkler pipe that was in the ground were both male threaded, I needed the coupler to connect the two. Once the riser was in place, I added the manifold and backfilled the dirt. This is a good time to go ahead and open the valve and test them out. Make sure the water works before you go through all the trouble of connecting the tubing for the drip irrigation. I had one other sprinkler head to swap with a riser and a manifold. These manifolds give us a way to connect multiple tubes and put them up in the best location as well. The tubing, it's a bit tough to connect to the manifold, but just keep wiggling it until you get it all the way on. The drip emitters I used were really easy to connect on the ends of the tubing, and then the stakes made it really easy to keep them in place where you needed them. The first line I ran was a bit long, but it's really easy. You just simply pull it back out, cut it, trim it to the size you need, and reconnect. My beds were about 6 feet long by about 3 feet long, so the 2 drip emitters per bed were perfect for me. I centered the drip emitters vertically and then spaced them evenly so that they covered the most soil. I then connected the next bed to that same manifold. This meant it was stretched across the grass, but since it was up against the house, it should be safe. No one can trip over it, and I'm not going to run it over with the lawnmower. I think you could probably bury these, but I decided it was fine to just tuck it behind the beds. After running all the lines for my DIY drip irrigation, I turned on the sprinkler for this zone and watched the magic happen. They were working! I only had to run these for about 10 minutes to get enough water for all my little plants. You don't need the water shooting over the edges. As long as the majority of the soil is getting wet, your plants can absorb what they need. So while my seeds were germinating, I needed to keep the soil moist, and this drip irrigation system was so handy. Swapping your sprinkler heads to create drip irrigation isn't too difficult, and it wasn't expensive either. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't watched our video for how we built these raised beds, you can click on over to that as well. I hope this video inspires you to install your own DIY drip irrigation systems for your raised beds. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.